And we're live. Welcome to the Know Yourself Revolution live. My name is Grace Gravestock, and today I am with Michelle Ann Phillips, a theta healing practitioner. She's amazing. You've probably heard about her. You've probably heard me talk about her. She was on our event last week. And today we're going to be talking about permission to be human. Welcome to the show, Michelle.
Thank you so much. How are you?
Great. So the reason that we decided to do Permission to be Human today is because Michelle and I were talking yesterday after our live. And by the way, tell us where you're joining from. We did get a lot of feedback, and we wanted to respond to things that we were feeling and things that we were hearing. And that is that right now the energies are really strong. And I'll be honest with you, I had a really tough day. It was probably one of the toughest days I've had in a very long time. And as I was sharing that with Michelle, she was telling me some stuff too. Is there anything you want to say about that, Michelle, before I go on?
It's a thing. Like everywhere I look right now, I'm seeing people are dealing with just weird things that they don't normally deal with. Like I can't tell you how many people in my family are having like back issues right now. Like just it's like things getting stiff and body aches and pains that really don't make sense. There's no reason for it. Fatigue. Oh my gosh. It's like, I swear one day I felt, I was like, is there like something zapping my energy? It was like, it was literally being sucked from me. And it was like, I just couldn't get it. But then the permission to be human is like, okay, so what can I do when these crazy energies come in? It's like, all I can do is surrender to it. So you're going to go through it. So are you going to go through it the easy way, or are you going to go through it the hard way? That's
So
where
if you're
your
going through,
choice lies.
yeah, exactly. If you're going through it right now, I want you to say out loud wherever you are, or say it in your mind. If you can't say it out loud, I choose to make this change fun and easy. Because here's the thing, we are all going through it. I believe that it's that we're going through some DNA upgrades right now. And I'll tell you, I'll be honest with you, I had a really tough day yesterday. I met with a coach, somebody I followed for a long time, and she looked at my business and she just gave me all kinds of bad news about how all the things that were wrong with my business and with my branding and my messaging. And I just felt so distraught. Like I was ready to just, I felt like I should just jump off a cliff, like just give it up. She's like, whatever she said, I don't want to give it more power. But it really took me out for a little bit. And I found myself, just like, just sharing it with my partner. And as I heard myself speak, I was really disturbed by the things coming out of my mouth. And I'm like, what am I saying? What is this? What is happening? And I'm talking about how important it is to be grateful. By the way, today is day 2 of our gratitude challenge. So we want to hear what your experience has been with gratitude, especially this week, because we were talking earlier about how the energies are amplified. So what can we do during this time? Michelle just talked about, we're going to have to go through it, but how we choose to go through it is going to have a huge impact on what we experience and how we experience. So it's been tough. I read comments last night and this morning from other people that have been watching our live, talking about people dying, people they love dying, a lot of people, completing this life right now in this eclipse window, which is not uncommon historically speaking. But what we want to focus on today is all the things that happen, that can happen to us as we deal with these energies. And and I was freaking out. I called Michelle and I'm like, what am I doing? Like am I giving it all this negativity energy? I mean, clearly I did. Like I'm sitting there talking about it, and here's the person that's me. Like I'm always talking about how important our words are, and so I'm like, what am I doing? Like it freaked me out. And so as Michelle and I were talking, we started talking about permission to be human. What can you share, Michelle, about this topic about being human?
Okay. So how I look at things is it's almost like I have 2 versions of me. So there's the me that has to live in this meat suit and go through life and do all the things and in this 3D reality. And then there's my higher self that knows all of the things, has the answers to all the problems, is relaxed, is calm, knows that things are always working out for me. So when these things arise, I have to realize which person is actually experiencing these things. And it's almost like you kind of like parent your 3D self from your higher dimension, your higher self. So it's like, okay, yeah, it's hard. Today's a hard day. And that's okay. Because the more you resist, and I don't know if this is your experience as well, Grace, but happens to me. When I start getting in this, oh, where are my clients? Where are the people? What's going on? And it's like this spirals and the next thing I know, I'm dropping things are breaking. And it's like the momentum of that energy just really picks up. And then I start trying to do something else because I'm looking for something to work. And it's like, well, you know what? It's a rough day. This is a day where things aren't working the right way. It does not mean that things aren't working out for me in the big picture. It just means that this is a day for me to surrender. What happens, happens. Does it matter in 10 years from now how I'm feeling in this exact moment? That my laptop wouldn't work. Is that going to matter in 10 years? Or yeah, you spilt a bunch of milk or whatever little oopsie things happen in your life. Is it going to matter in 10 years? So permission to be human. I drop things. I have bad days. Sometimes I don't feel good. Sometimes I make mistakes. And that's okay. Because the more we resist these icky feelings, the more we get of these icky feelings. It's like that saying, what I resist persists.
I was just thinking that.
So when we just stop and give ourselves, it's like, okay, I'm having a rough day and it sucks, but I'm just going to feel it. And I'm going to be present for myself, and I'm going to practice self-care, and I'm going to get myself through this rough day in the highest and best way that my higher self knows. So then I give permission to my higher self to show me all the areas of self-care, all of the meditations, all of the tools in my toolbox that I can use to lift myself up and recalibrate to better feelings. And I know that tomorrow will be a better day. And if it's not, well, there's another tomorrow. We have an infinite amount of tomorrows.
That's right. And so we can accept ourselves, love ourselves, and practice this self-acceptance, which is really starts with self-love and being willing to be both vulnerable and authentic, which means, for me, it means like being real about how I feel. I have a long pattern of trying to avoid my feelings. And
right.
there's a lot of, right. Maybe we all do. Do you, if you have that fear, put it in the comments. Put in the comments where you're from. Like I'm doing sort of an unofficial tally right now of where are people tuning in from and our reach. We're experimenting with different times of day for the live. So if you could put in the chat, wherever you're listening from, we have the streaming on multiple platforms, I think 7 or 8 platforms on Facebook and YouTube and LinkedIn, and wherever you're tuning in from today, let us know where you're at. And if you are needing permission to be human, put permission to be human in the chat. We'd love to know that you're listening and that you're benefiting from this message, because here's the thing. I've struggled with this. I'll be honest. I don't want to be the person that's using my words in a way that's going to create a negative reality. And so as I was experiencing this yesterday, and I called Michelle, and I was just I was freaking out. I was just having a little bit of a freak out day, and realizing how much energy I had allowed myself to invest in all this negativity and all this fear about what if I'm doing it wrong? Am I going to be successful? Am I going to be able to make a living? Is this true? What I'm saying to people, that we can truly create a life that we love based on what we're here to be and do. And I truly believe that that is the case. Now and I'm struggling with this aspect of it. Like, does it mean that all of us get to be paid for exactly what we like doing? I mean, I think that's a journey. I don't think it's a yes or no simple answer question. But I'm curious what your experiences are. I want to tell you honestly that Michelle and I have had some really powerful experiences. I just had a session with her right before this, a belief clearing session. She does theta healing. It's so powerful, and I'm telling you, it's real. And I feel that I felt things changing, and she walked me through this process that she does where we're changing these core beliefs, apparently, and I say apparently, this might sound weird to you to say it out loud, but it rang true in my body when she said, do you have a poverty, a vow of poverty? We did body testing on it and I got a yes. I mean, that's disturbing, So what do you do? I mean, first of all, it's disturbing because, oh my gosh, like that explains so many things. But what do you do with it? And so this is where I want to focus the conversation, and I want to focus your energy right now. Whatever you're struggling with, you can either choose to let it take you out, or you can choose to let that be the energy that helps you focus your powerful energy into making a change in your life. So when I had that freak out moment, I could have jumped off a cliff. Trust me, I did have that thought. I thought about should I just give up? Like this coach really had me going for a little bit. Like, what am I doing? Like I felt in a lot of despair and hopelessness for a while. And I really was stewing in all that, and I was expressing it to my partner, and he was having to, take it in. Thankfully, he doesn't get attached to things, and so he just let me process it, and and just kind of held my hand, and I knew that it's going to be okay, but it was difficult to go through, and then what I chose to do is address it, and because once I realized how difficult that I'm a powerful being, I'm talking all the time about this eclipse energy we're in, and how what we think about and what we focus on is amplified, and that is all true. So what am I creating in my life by focusing on all this negativity and all this fear and doubt? I'm choosing to lead by example. Like, what does that look like? So I chose in that moment to get help. And this is what I want to focus on today. You can choose to do it alone. And we're all powerful beings. You can do everything on your own. You totally can. And if that's what you want to focus your energy on, more power to you. But what I decided in that moment is, I know, because you've heard me, if you've been following, you've heard Michelle, you've heard her talk about how easy it is to change our beliefs. And, theoretically, we can all just go and do that. Like, we all have that power. And I thought to myself, is that something that I want to spend my time trying to do on my own? Can I do it? Maybe, but what have I done? So how is that working for me? It hasn't been working for me. Like, I look at my bank account.
That's always the question, eh? When you believe something, well, how's that working for you? That's how you can find it.
Exactly. And that's what this coach was saying. She's like, okay, well, look at your results. Like, let's have a reality check. Like, what is actually happening for you right now? And let's see what has happened in the last 3 months. What is the trajectory of what's likely to happen in the next 3 months if you don't do anything different? And I'm like, oh my gosh, like this was a freak out moment. Like, well, what do I do? And I thought about it for a few minutes, and then I called Michelle, and I'm like, can you help me with this? And she said yes. And so it was, she's a busy woman, and she's got a lot of things going on, as do I. But we figured out a way to fit it in this morning, and we just did a very powerful clearing. And it wasn't just one thing; it's a lot of things, and it's powerful. And so my message to you is, you can do it all. Whatever you're struggling with, you can. You are a powerful being, and you probably can do it on your own. But how is that working for you? And are you willing to get help? And I choose to make it fun and easy, right? And that means I'm open to shortcuts. And so I knew that Michelle is also an express builder, a manifesting generator in human design. Part of her purpose is to be here for shortcuts, as is mine. So I'm like, okay, if I'm all about shortcuts, like, am I going to sit around and focus on this and try to figure it out for the next 5 years? Or am I going to get help? Do I believe in myself enough to invest in getting support? And I said to myself, yes, I do. I'm unconcerned about what the immediate cost is to me, because it's an investment in my future. It's an investment in how I show up. It's an investment in whether or not I let this take me out, or if I can keep going and living my purpose and doing my purpose work. And I chose to get support. And so that's my question for you. Are you willing to get support? I know I've been talking a lot, Michelle. What do you want to add anything?
It's like investing in yourself is the best investment you'll ever make. Banks talk about their dividends and rewards and stuff. They don't hold a candle to the benefits that you will reap by investing in yourself. You're taking your power back, and just that action alone, that energetic decision to take your power back, it's like it clears your path. And now it's like, oh, I can see the forest through the trees. It's showing up. And then you just take your baby steps and those small little inspired action steps. So oftentimes, like looking at business and like the big picture, it's like, okay, we're so focused on that big picture sometimes. Can you imagine if you wanted to drive across the country and you had your GPS telling you, okay, if you're in California and you want to get to New York, okay, well, when you're in New York, this is what the directions you get in California. In this street in New York, turn right and do da-da-da. Well, how does that help you get from California to New York? Like, you need to know, okay, at the next intersection, take a left, drive 500 miles, then do this, then do that. So you get the steps as they come to you. If you are given the entire picture and the entire destination, it's a little overwhelming and it's too much to take it in. So those small baby steps are what's going to lead you to your next most optimal baby steps. And you can live without overwhelm. So you don't have to do everything all at once. You can go easy on yourself, relax.
I want to talk about that a little bit, Michelle, because when I was thinking about whether or not I should work with you, I'll be honest, I thought to myself, what is this thing? And I know that I have some limiting beliefs around my worth and my value. And even though I've been working on this for a while, like it's like layers of the onion. Yep. And I thought, what is it? And so I was so surprised about, and pleasantly, and I just want to highlight what you're saying is when you took me through your process, it became really obvious to me that it is a multi-layered thing. So it's not just one thing. It's like, when I scheduled my session with you last night, I wrote a couple things that I was thinking about, like, I really want to make sure we address this. But when we got into it, what I noticed was how you took me through, like you did your homework before we even started. I love that you tapped in. And so before I even started speaking, you said, this is what's coming up. This is what I'm getting. And I was like, oh my gosh, it was validation that there was an energetic connection between us, because I had given permission for you to help me, and I had paid, which is an energy exchange. And I want to highlight that. So if you're not willing to pay somebody, and we're talking about healers, teachers, coaches, people that are here to help you, if you're not willing to make that energetic exchange, how can you expect to get for that flow to be complete? Like, you have to be willing to understand that it's literally an energy exchange, which means both parties participate in it. And it's not just a one and done, it's a process. And so as you took me through that process, Michelle, I was really impressed with how you took me through a multi-layered approach. And so, yeah, we addressed, I told you about what I'm experiencing, and you took me through, you tapped into what I believe is my higher self, and our higher selves are, up there communicating out beyond the physical realm. I could feel it. I could feel the negotiations going on. And what I love about your work is that you were you were asking me questions and we were like unpeeling one layer of the onion at a time. And that's what I want you to realize. If you're struggling with something right now, that it is probably not just one thing, and it's probably not just the label that you've slapped on it, or that somebody has told you that you're broken about, or you have this issue and it's the reason why your relationships don't work out, or it's the reason why you can't attract soul aligned clients, or you can't attract money, or whatever it is. And you might think it's this thing, it's this one trauma, but it's probably a multi-layered thing. And as I worked with Michelle this morning, that became really clear, because she was asking me questions, and it's like, oh, well, this is tied to this, and this is tied to this. And I teared up. Like, she asked me, when was the first time when, whatever it was about, anyway, I forget the question, but it was about a relationship that happened in high, not high school, junior high. Like, it went that far back. It was pain. My broken heart was still not fully recovered from junior high. Like, I was 14? Like, that has affected me. I'm 50 now. Like, how many years has that been festering? And how many years has that been affecting every single relationship I have, every single instance that I have to compute? Am I worthy? Am I valuable? Am I fully supported? All of it's tied. It goes back to these layers of these traumas. So you might think it's just this one trauma that you had, but the chances are good that it's multi-tiered and multi-layered. And working with somebody like Michelle, or another coach or healer, like you want to work with me about your human design, or someone else, like, I think you can feel our energy. We just want to heal the world. We want people to stand in their power. So find a practitioner that resonates with you, and be willing to be coached, be willing to address the layers that are there, which need to be healed and aligned. And it's not probably just one thing, it's a number of things. And that's why working with a practitioner that's an expert in this field, whatever the field is that you're looking for help with, that's why you work with somebody who knows this stuff, because they can guide you through it and give you shortcuts. And that is how you can move forward faster. We're in a time of change. This eclipse energy is powerful. I'm feeling it. You're feeling it. I know my clients are feeling it. I know that we have, oh my gosh, we have people tuning in. Let me just say, Aurora. Yeah, South Africa. Perfect time for me to be watching. Awesome, Aurora. Glad you could join us. And I see Lisa is here on Facebook. I know we have others. If you're watching, let us know where you're coming, where you're listening from. But what I want to say here is, this is my message. You get to be human. You get to have those moments of doubt. You get to have those times, and you're not going to mess up your life by expressing it. So when I talked to Michelle last night, she's like, you were bringing it up to let it be healed and released. And that was a relief. Can you talk a little bit more about that, Michelle? That was really helpful to me.
I can. And I actually got a term for it from another coach that I've worked with before. And we call it holding the bucket. So you could say, look, can you hold the bucket while I just blah? Because you get all these feelings, and my past me would, nope, everything's fine. So I go into denial and suppress, deny and suppress. And how that worked out for me was, it gave me some really bad MS issues. So I'm not doing that anymore. So now when I'm feeling this gross energy, and like, I don't like it, nobody wants to feel sad, angry, depressed, and these things. But if we suppress it, again, what you resist persists. So you got to let it out. So I'll go to my husband, for example, because he's my safe person. So I'm like, Dave, hey, can you just hold the bucket for me? I don't need you to fix it. I don't need you to do anything about it. I don't need you to empathize. I don't need you to do anything. I just need to let this energy out. Can you hold the bucket? And so he's like, yeah, sure. So then that gives me permission to just let it all out. And I mean, it can be pretty intense at times. And other times I think it's going to be intense, but it's really not as bad as I thought, because I had given myself permission to let it out. So it wasn't like the force that I thought it was going to be. And then it's over. It's done. It's like, oh, thanks, I feel so much better. And now I can move on with my day. So instead of letting it fester and create these thoughts and frequencies and stuff, just let it out. Give yourself permission. Just let it out. Have somebody hold the bucket for you. Find your safe person. And just let it out and feel better. You're allowed.
Yeah. Let it out and express it. Know that if it's coming up for you, it's probably coming up as, and this is where human design comes in. If you are a builder type, this is probably something that is given for you to respond to. You know how I say you set your intention. We're in day 2 of our gratitude challenge. When we do the gratitude journal every day, we set our intentions, right? We choose what we're going to create. We choose what we want to create. We choose what we want to experience. And what does that do? It gives permission to our team, however you understand that team that you have, which is a big, significant team because you're here for a purpose. You're giving permission to that team and guidance and direction to say, hey, team, all the angels, guides, ancestors, whatever you believe, however you understand all that, you have a team and they're all just sitting there waiting for you to make a choice. Like, tell us what we need to do. We want to support you in living your fullest expression of your being in this world right now. Like, you're here for purpose. You're here for a reason. We need to know what to do. So you're giving them direction. That's how I see it when I do my gratitude journal.
Absolutely.
And when you do this, and you're a builder type or generator type, you have something to respond to. So these things that are coming up, like when Michelle said that to me yesterday, I realized, oh my gosh, maybe this is coming up because it's something that I'm choosing to heal and release, because I put in my gratitude journal, I'm choosing to let go of what no longer serves me. So, but whoa, look at that. Like, there's a cosmic breadcrumb right there. Like, I'm
right.
Instead of being upset that this is coming up and freaked out about it, which was honestly what I did for a little bit. But then I realized now, and I'm realizing as I'm talking to you, like I'm sharing, I'm being open, I'm choosing to be open and vulnerable. This is real. You know, you have permission to be human because you're in a physical body. And that's an important thing to have. We're touching the heavens. We have connection in the heavens and we have connection on the earth. When we ground into the earth, it gives us a very powerful position in the universe because we have this physical body. So there's nothing wrong with being human. I spent a lot of years trying to get away from my physical body, thinking it was a bad thing. Oh, yes. But I want you to know that you have this permission to be human and don't be afraid of it. I'm sorry to interrupt. Go ahead, Michelle.
No, I'm just agreeing with you. Absolutely. Like, we're here. We're human. Why do we keep trying to not be human? Right? We keep denying all of our humanness when this is the only time and space available in the multiverse that we get to be human. It's a gift.
It is a gift. And it reminds me, you know, what you were talking about, value. We're talking about value and what do you value? And it was something you said a few minutes ago. I wanted to, it triggered something, you know, I wanted to give you this option. It reminds me of Monica Bravo. She was one of our speakers last week, and she talked about how important it is right now to know what you value and what you focus on and what's valuable to you, so that as we go through the changes, which we're in them right now, by the way, it's really important to know what you value. And so where you put your funds, where you put your energy, where you put your focus, these are all resources. And so these resources are what you have to work with right now. And so where you put your energy, these resources, is an indication, whether you like it or not, whether you're conscious of it or not, it is an indication of what you value. So the question for you today is, are you focusing your resources, even though you might feel like they're not enough? Whatever resources you have, your time is your most valuable resource. Monica talked about that. What are those resources, and what are you demonstrating to the universe that you value by investing your time and your money and your energy in? So, you know, this is, and if you want to know more, this was one of the interview by Monica Bravo. She kicked it off. She's the only manifestor, initiator, trailblazer in our lineup last week. And she really was talking about this topic about what you value and where you choose to focus your energy, because that is important right now. As the energies are amplified, you're sending a message with your choices about what you value and what you want to create more of. I'm choosing healing for myself. I'm choosing to amplify that for everyone, because I know that as I stand up in my power more and more, that enables other people to stand in their power. And that's the same for you. So I know that a lot of teachers, healers, coaches, and others that have a good heart watch me and are participating in the Know Yourself Revolution. I want to encourage you to do the healing work in this eclipse window, even though it's scary. It might be scary, even though it might be hard. Choose yourself first. This was one of the things that I did with Michelle this morning. We'd had some belief clearings around this. And I knew in my being, as she was asking me these questions, yes, I have work to do. This is important work. And I'm choosing to make different choices going forward. I'm choosing to install new beliefs around my value, around my worth, around my ability to attract clients that are worthy of me and that I can support, because I know I can help them I can help you get to where you want to go. If what you need is some kind of change management, like helping you to make the change fun and easy. That's my secret sauce with frequency. That's what I do. I use human design. I use my techniques from 20 plus years in the corporate world, working with countries and large companies, and I've applied it to myself and many, many clients. I can help you with that. Michelle has healed her physical body of MS. Like, oh my gosh, her interview is amazing and worth $27 if you want to upgrade to VIP and get that whole interview and get her whole story. It's amazing and powerful. And so what we choose to focus on is what will expand. That's always true. It's exponentially true right now in this eclipse window. And that's why we're doing day 2 of our gratitude challenge, to encourage you to become aware of what you're focusing on so that you can see its expansion in your life on a daily basis. What are you noticing? That's my question for you. What are you noticing?
Yes.
Is there anything more you want to add, Michelle?
For anybody who would like this download, would you like to pull clear and release the belief that life has to be hard? And let's change that to life gets to be easy, and that you know what it is and how it feels to move through your life, making decisions, choosing things that you value with joy, ease, speed, and grace. Would you like that? Just say yes out loud if you would like that. Yeah, change gets to be easy. Yeah. Just honor your human.
Thank you so much. Yes.
Thank you.
We are human. It's an honor to be human. It's thank you so much, Michelle, for helping us to install new beliefs. So sometimes it takes a little bit. If it's like somebody used to tell me, what got you here won't get you there. And if you created it, you're not going to be able to resolve it. That may or may not be true depending on the situation. But here's my encouragement:
is the same mind that created the problem is not the same mind that will create the solution. So it's about that mindset shift. That because you can go into something feeling this way, but then you go do something else, you're in a different mindset, you will see it completely differently.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. That's a better way of seeing it. So yeah, I want to encourage you to consider where you're focusing your energy today. Consider where you're choosing to invest your resources, whether it's time or money, and consider if those things are what you would want to, if this was your last day and you had that life review on the other side, what would you say about where you invested your considerable resources in this life? Did you invest in things you believe in? Did you invest in yourself? Did you invest in what you value? That's the question for you today. And I want you to focus on that in your gratitude journal if you haven't done it today yet. I did mine earlier, even though I was running out of time. I set my timer and I did my gratitude journal. Michelle texted me to say she's ready. And I said, I'm finishing up my gratitudes right now. I got to get this done. So set your timer, do whatever you need to do. Start your gratitude practice. If you haven't, you can get mine at activateyourlifepurpose.com. It's free. I really want you to focus on what you want, not what you don't. And I want to encourage you to reach out for help. If you are willing to have help, there are people that want to help you, and be open to receive that help. Michelle is one of those. She has this amazing theta healing meditation. I'm so impressed with her work. She believes that everything is possible. Your physical healing, your emotional, mental, spiritual healing, nothing is out of bounds. Everything can be healed. My stepmom used to say she had a business, Restore Everything, and she helps people who are at the end. They've tried everything, with the big C word and other kinds of health problems. And she helps them, and they're willing, after they try everything else, to do something unconventional, perhaps. And so her business was called Restore Everything. And that really made an impression on me. Is it possible to restore everything? I believe in working with Michelle, especially now. My belief is reinvigorated that everything is possible. Why not? I mean, if you came through the Christian background like I did, there's a lot of programming around miracles can happen. Everything is possible with God. With God, all things are possible. I still believe that. And so if you have a challenge in your life, reach out today. Put it in your gratitude journal. I'm so happy and grateful that I am fully supported, and this thing, whatever it is, and let me know what your number one challenge is. Put it in the comments. Send me an email. I would love to know, because I'm creating my next event now, and I really want it to be useful to you. So tell me what your number one challenge is and put it in your gratitude journal. I'm so happy and I'm so grateful that I have a solution, that I am fully supported. And this thing, whatever it is, fill in the blanks, I choose for it to be resolved. And I'm uncertain now how it's going to happen, but I choose for it to be resolved, and it is resolving. And you will see things to respond to in your physical world. And it might be this video. It might be another video you watch about Michelle, and you're like, is she for real? Is it possible? What is theta healing? I didn't know what it was. Like just a couple of weeks ago, I'm like, oh, that's cool, Michelle. What is theta healing? And she told me. And then she demonstrated it, and that is powerful. And so I'm telling you, it is possible. If you have physical pain, emotional pain, mental pain, like we have addressed so many things with me, like, oh my gosh, it's a layers of an onion, but it's possible. So many layers. Layers, and I feel it. I feel different. Like I know that things are happening on an energetic level as she's working with me. So choose to make it fun and easy today. Choose to reach out, choose what you value, choose to get support, choose to know that there is support available. I did not realize that this was so possible. Like in 1 hour, she helped me resolve so many things that have been issues for freaking decades, I'm telling you. Shortcuts. She's here for shortcuts. So am I. Like, there are people that want to help you get to where you want to go faster. Like, be open and receptive. Say today, I choose to be receptive. I choose to be open to guidance. I choose to heal this. I choose to not let this be an issue any longer. I choose solutions. I choose resolution. I choose fun and ease. I choose abundance. When we went through a process this morning, I integrated with this amazing version of myself. And I saw her. She knocked on my door. I opened the door and I integrated with her. And she is the embodiment. And if you know Source Cards, put in the chat if you do. I'm curious. Source Cards have been a super huge part of my journey as well, besides human design and Gene Keys, so many things. But in Source Cards, my birth card and my personality card, I always get them confused. One of them is Queen of Clubs. And so that is an energy of a very there's an energy pattern in the tarot, and I can't remember the name of this one. But anyway, I see her in my mind's eye, and she's abundant, she's gracious, she's generous, she's comfortable, she's helping everyone that comes into her path. And she knocked on my door this morning in this meditative state when I was working with Michelle. and she integrated with me, and I feel different. I know I'm different. I know things are changing with me on an energetic level, and it's going to show up in my physical level. And I'm choosing now in this amplified time of the eclipse window to make these shifts. That's what you're feeling. You're feeling something, which is something to respond to, which is saying, hey, wake up, like make a change. This is your opportunity. And I am telling you, Michelle can help you. If Michelle's not the person, find somebody that is. Maybe I'm the person to help you through your human design to understand what you're here to be and do. There is so much help available. All these healers and teachers and coaches that I interviewed last week on the Know Yourself Revolution live event about the shifts that we're going through and what it means to you, you can still get those interviews. They're $27. Like, you don't have to spend a bunch of money. You get to invest. If this is what you choose, invest in yourself. Invest in what resonates with you. But here is what my point is. There are solutions. There are people that are just waiting to help you, as Michelle was waiting to help me. And she was happy to help me. And I was happy to pay her because it's worth it. It is worth it to get a shortcut that can save you decades of pain. It doesn't need to be painful. Like, accept this.
Yeah.
Hey, what can you say, Michelle? I'm looking at the time. We probably
wow.
What do you want to say?
What can I say? I'm just like, when you make a choice, when you make a decision, that decision, let your decision guide you. When you decide at 100%, this is what I'm doing, and you become determined, you really upgrade your energy with this incredible force, and you become unstoppable. Literally become unstoppable. And you don't need to have all of the information. It's just those next little baby steps that will move you forward. And before you know it, you're looking behind you and, oh my God, look at that mile I just trekked. And I, never believed it was even possible. And then when you look back and you see what you've done, you get encouraged and excited because you're like, if I did that, oh my gosh, I can do this, right? Because past results set you up for future, right? So you're just like, yay. So now you're expecting better too. So it just gets better and better and better.
It does. And the baby steps are important because when you're in it, it's hard to know what they are. But when you're working with somebody that has a process, oh, that's awesome. Somebody said, I really like the shortened version of what got you here can't get you there. Yeah, that's a truth, right? I mean, it resonates in your body. So you have permission to be human today, and you have support. You are fully supported. Choose to believe that. Choose to embody that. Choose to reach out to people that can help support you. If you're not sure about which healer, coach, guide, you can get the summary masterclass right here. It's free, kyr.life/MC for masterclass. You can get the summary version of the 10 hours and all these amazing people that are here to help you know, love, and trust yourself, including Michelle Ann. And she does amazing work with Theta Healing. But there's other healers too. You've heard me talk about them. I think they're amazing. I would not put them on my show if I did not believe in them. And if I didn't have and believe that they're energetically aligned with our mission to positively impact 5 billion people by 2025 by shifting the frequency for the planet, because I know that when I shift, you shift. And when you shift, your world, everything around you shifts. Your people around you, the people you love, they can't help but be affected when you change. There was something you said to me, Michelle, this morning. I'm trying to remember what it was. Do you remember about when you change, the world changes, or the world, what, do you remember that? And your world changes, the way you see the world changes, something like that. Do you remember?
When you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. So when you change your perception around things, I'm not sure if that's what I said.
That's it. Yes, that's it.
Yeah,
yes,
so
thank
when
you.
you change the way you look at things, the things that you look at change.
Yes. So choose to look at things different today. Choose to look at whatever is happening to you as something to respond to and something that's bringing to your attention what needs to be healed, released, or aligned. I come from, I know a lot of quantum healing practitioners, and I believe that theta healing is probably in that same category. And so pick a practitioner that resonates with you, but choose to get support today. Choose to address whatever it is that's coming up for you. Like me, you could be having a rough week or a rough day, but choose to let that be what I call cosmic breadcrumbs that are leading you towards the fulfillment of what you've set your intention for in your gratitude journal. So see the connection between what you're setting your intention for, what you're writing down, the way you're guiding and directing your team, however you see them, and what's showing up. See the connection points, because there are connection points. That is why we write it down, because then we can see what the results are. And that's also why we want to be specific in our gratitude journal, so that we can see, measure how much money is coming in this month versus last month. How many clients am I am I bringing in? Like we had a bunch of people that got this VIP package. I'm super excited. To me, that is an indication that I'm in alignment and that I'm doing work that people find valuable. And so for you, putting those numbers in your gratitude journal is something that allows you to track progress. It allows you to see something to respond to. Your higher self, your guides, your team, your angels, however you understand it, God is giving you a focus for where to put your energy and how to move forward. It's not like somebody's just going to dump it in your lap. That may happen, but it might be you get something to respond to like this, which is a call in your soul, a call in your heart to make a change, do something different, get support, choose what's valuable to you. If you do nothing else today, do your gratitude journal, write down what your values are, write down what are the most important non-negotiables for you, and make sure that you've covered them. If something crazy happens, things crazy will happen. So make sure that you are taking care of yourself and that you're acknowledging what's important to you, because what you value is what you're going to prepare for, So if I know that I need clean water, I just got a clean water system recently. I want to make sure that I have clean water. I know that my beliefs and thoughts are important, and I'm choosing to work with Michelle to clear the ones that no longer support me. Like, I'm just using myself as an example because I want you to see that I'm leading by example, not so that you have to do what I'm doing, but so that you see you can choose yourself to make different choices and get a different outcome. Be the most powerful version of yourself that you can be. That's what I believe this eclipse time is for. It's a time of change, but the change might not be external. The change might be internal. It might be your stuff coming up so that you can heal it and release it.
Exactly. Yes.
I feel like I had to say that. There it was. There it is.
It's beautiful.
Okay. Anything else? Any last words you want to say, Michelle? I didn't mean to get on a soapbox there.
I think I'm good. Just with sending unconditional love to everybody. You have permission to be human.
Absolutely. You have permission to be human. And if you want to get support, there's plenty of support out there. This is how you can reach out to Michelle. If you want to get a session of theta healing, it's amazing. Change your beliefs, change your life. I heard Tony Robbins say that. I think it's the title of his book. What a powerful, fast way to do it with theta healing, or whatever kind of healing. If you have another practitioner that you work with, choose to get help, choose to get support. There's nothing wrong with getting support. In fact, that's how we move forward. And because if what you've done so far has got you to where you are, then you got to look at it and say, what can I do different? And
yeah, really.
Your higher self, God, your angels, you will get indications of something that you can do, something to respond to. It might be an invitation if you're an orchestrator type. But the point is, take action today. It is a time to go within. It doesn't mean take action as in go run a marathon necessarily. It means take action at looking at what's coming up in your life and decide what it's saying to you. Decide what you want to do with it, because it's coming up for a reason. Choose yourself today. And let me know in the comments what you're choosing. Let me know what you're seeing in your gratitude practice. This is day 2. We're gonna do lives through the eclipse weekend, and I'm gonna be at a camping event this weekend. Eclipse, here it is. Yeah, and I have another call I have to jump to. So
Yeah.
all of these things, like let's do what we got to do. Thank you so much, Michelle. We'll see you later.
Bye.